This is my video review of the HO Scale CSX rebuilt EMD SD40-3 diesel locomotive from Scaletrains.com. Beginning in 2011, CSX Transportation, a railroad company in the eastern United States, took on a rebuild program for their EMD SD40-2 locomotives, so that these locomotives may last another 30 years in service. The rebuilt locomotives were named SD40-3 by CSX. The most distinctive feature of the rebuilt SD40-3 is that it features a new cab that is squarer in shape compared to the SD40-2 cabs. In addition to the new cab, these locomotives also feature newly installed heating and AC, new controls, positive train control hardware, and modernized starting systems. The price of Scaletrains.com's model is $149.99 for the DC version and $219.99 for the DCC and Sound version. DCC and Sound models include an ESU Locosound V4 decoder and speakers for authentic and customizable sounds. My example of the model is CSX 4026, which is one of the earlier SD40-3 rebuilds. This is a high-end model from Scaletrains' rivet counter line, so the model features numerous details and separately applied parts, such as MU and air hoses, snowplow, coupler cut lever, handrails, grab irons, lift rings, windshield wipers, mirrors, and sunshades. The roof of the model features see-through radiator fans and dynamic brake fans, which uses a combination of plastic and etched metal parts. In addition, there are many other detail parts and piping on the bottom of the locomotive, some of which can only be seen if you turn the locomotive upside down. The trucks feature separately applied shock absorbers and snubber plates, brake lines, brake cylinders, and a real handbrake chain. There are open bearings on the wheels that actually rotate with the motion of the model. There are extra bearing caps included in the box in case you lose some. The paint and lettering is quite nice on this model. I especially like the safety stripes and the CSX logo, which are very straight and crisp. The quality control on this SD40-3 is much improved from Scaletrains Tier 4 locomotives released last year. There are no glue marks on the exterior of the SD40-3, and all of the handrails of the SD40-3 are in place and straight. The model weighs 539 grams, or 1 pound and 3 ounces, which is slightly lighter than the Bowser GMD SD40-2, which is a model of similar size. I was able to measure a drawbar pull of 2.7 ounces, or 77 grams, which translates to about 38 cars, which is not bad for a locomotive of this size. The minimum speed of the locomotive, without any back EMF adjustments, is 0.9 scale miles per hour. I consider anything lower than 1 scale mile per hour to be excellent. The top speed of the locomotive is 68 scale miles per hour, which is quite reasonable, not too slow and not too fast. The model comes with Scaletrains semi-scale metal couplers, which are mounted low. This is especially obvious at the front, where the coupler sags down significantly. I suspected the front coupler wasn't installed properly, so I took it off and reinstalled it. After the reinstallation, the coupler still appears to be low. The coupler boxes can take Katy Whisker couplers with no modifications. However, the coupler box opening is too large, so the couplers will tend to sag. Shimming the coupler box will solve this problem. One more thing to note is that the sanding lines on this locomotive is done with a lot of prototypical accuracy. This means that the sanding lines are very close to the trucks, and they somewhat interfere with the swivel of the trucks. When the trucks swivel side to side, a noticeable clicking noise can be heard from the sanding lines. You can fix this by bending the sanding lines out of the truck's way, or cutting them off completely. To remove the shell of the locomotive, just remove the coupler boxes on both ends, then pull the shell upward. Be careful to not break the sanding lines, which are attached to the sill of the shell. The mechanism of the SD40-3 is identical to the ET44AC. The SD40-3 has the same 4-dimple 5-pole motor with dual brass flywheels. This motor has exceptional torque and slow speed performance. Above the motor is the circuit board holding the 21-pin ESU Locosound V4 decoder. The V4 decoder is a full-featured sound decoder featuring up to 12 function outputs, and it is capable of loading custom sound effects. The board features solder connections to the electrical pickup, lights, motor, and speakers. The headlight, ditch lights, and number boards are separate micro circuit boards with surface mount LEDs. On this CSX SD40-3, 7 of the 12 available lighting functions are used. I will include a link to the circuit board diagram in the video description. The circuit board also features an ESU power pack capacitor, which will keep the locomotive operating for up to 4 seconds in the event that it runs into dirty track or power is interrupted. Here is a short clip showing all the sides and details on the shell. If you have a DCC Sound SD40-3, there is one programming fix that you need to do to the locomotive. You will notice that out of the box, the E-bell of the SD40-3 is extremely quiet. You can fix this by raising the E-bell volume to a comfortable volume. I used a value of 64 for my locomotive. You also need to set the E-bell minimum and maximum playback speed to a value of 128, which is 100%. You can easily do this in the low programmer if you have one. If you don't have a low programmer, then just write the CVs on the screen to the locomotive with your DCC system. Lighting functions of the SD40-3 as follows. Function 0 turns on the headlights. Function 6 turns on the ditch lights. Note that the headlights and ditch lights are directional, and the ditch lights flash with the horn. Sound functions of the SD40-3 as follows. Function 1 is the E-bell. Function 2 is the Nathan K5LA horn. Function 3 is a coupler crank. Function 8 turns on the prime mover and number boards at the same time. And function 9 is the ESU full throttle function. This is a great model of the CSX EMD SD40-3 locomotive. It is the first and only HO scale SD40-3 model as of today, and its accuracy and attention to details make it a worthy purchase. A full-function ESU Locosound V4 decoder allows custom sound files and an array of lighting effects. The sound system is excellent, and the model also runs very nicely at various speeds. I don't like how the model's coupler height is wrong, and that the coupler box has too much up and down play for the coupler to move. In addition, I find the design of the sanding lines to be questionable. In fact, if I was designing this locomotive, I would have the sanding lines attached to the trucks instead of on the sill, because I would rather have operational reliability and fluidity over accuracy of the sanding line positions. Both of these issues are easily amended by the modeler, so I will only take off half a point for them. My final rating for the model is 9.5 out of 10. I would like to take this opportunity to tell you that starting on February 20th, 2018, I will lose my YouTube partner status because I don't meet the new YouTube partner requirements, which is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 playback hours per year. YouTube tells me that over 85% of my viewers are not subscribed, so if you're one of the 85%, please head on over to my channel and check out my other videos. If you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel to receive new content updates, because when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I will be able to reinstate my partner status. I will only ask this once, so you will not hear this message from me again on future videos. My content will still be the same, regardless if I have partnership status or not, so rest assured that there will be more videos coming, because I love this hobby, and I want to share my passion for this hobby with the community and the world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.